All right, Yo fans, back with another edition of the Steel Show this week. Of course, with head coach Mike Moroski coming off a huge 56-17 convincing win at Arizona Christian University. And so, Coach, jumping right into the game, assess your team's performance, how you feel like they played. Long trip down there, obviously. Guys seemed like they showed up. So what'd you see from your team?
Yeah, long, fun trip in many respects. We had great guys on the team, great character and all that. We were nervous about how hot it was going to be, so even at our walkthrough on Friday, it was hot, but not hot by Arizona standards.
Yeah.
But by game time, it was sun was down, and it was not a factor at all.
Yeah.
But it was great to get, most importantly, everybody in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were very, very sharp in spots. I thought we started slow on defense, but I think we're making progress, and so I'm excited about that. And I think that we finally got the run game stopped, and we started to be able to run effectively on offense. So I think those are two key components to what we need to do to open other things up. Mm-hmm. And their quarterback was good.
Absolutely.
So they had a good plan, and so they moved it down the field and made a play to get it in the end zone on a 3rd and long pass, I believe. But I like where we are. I think we were just talking a little earlier, I think we're on the verge of playing our best football in lots of different phases of the game. So that's pleasing. I think the guys like to work, like to practice, and even love football and the intricacies, which we talk about a lot. I think that's really, really important because every team brings a different challenge, but I think we're steadily improving. It's not like we're jumping, and sometimes I'd like to see us jump up and be great all of a sudden, but that's not the way greatness works sometimes. Greatness sometimes is a slowish process, but we're engaged in the process, so that's what I like most about this team. So I thought that showed up in every phase of the game on Saturday. Getting guys in, they showed that they were ready to play.
Yeah.
So some young players really, really played well, and that's always encouraging.
Yeah.
I want those guys to know we haven't forgotten about them, and we're going to need them.
Yeah.
Maybe in a big game down the stretch, in a close game. So
Absolutely.
that's always very positive for morale. And even after the game, we like to celebrate on the field, and that's just kind of one of my things. It's just hard to win,
Absolutely.
But the celebration, it kind of took a different form of who are the guys that haven't played much, that we need to celebrate. So
No
that
doubt.
I think it was a good team building situation, and again, for those guys to know that we value them and think they're really, really good players. So it was a good night in Arizona. So
I was going to ask you about that because late in the game, running backs come in, the young running backs, they're running the ball pretty effectively. We get a long pass down the left sideline for a touchdown, and then, a depth DB guy, runs across the field on a cross route, kind of jumps and picks a ball on the other sideline late in the game. So how satisfying is it to see, some of those young guys that you're developing and bringing up get in there and really make some plays in some game action?
Yeah, well, you just know, and we all know psychologically that if you're not in the regular rotation, the human nature says, maybe I'm never going to get in, or this sucks, or whatever it is, versus never know when my opportunity is going to be. So what we try to instill is be ready for your opportunity, whether it's 2 plays or 10 plays or 20 plays. You could be starting next week. So it's just nice that comes to some fruition for a bunch of guys. Literally everybody on the travel team played significantly and got a chance, and I think it wasn't all perfect, but you learn most from being in those game reps. So that's always pleasing, and then just the attitude, the guys on the team, celebrating with those guys is really, it's priceless to me. So in terms of what you're trying to build as a program, and the bigger aspects, the foundational aspects shine through sometimes on nights like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely, and that's fantastic when you see the guys who are starters come together and really encouraging them, coaching them up on the field, and you see everyone engaged in the game. Right.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
And another guy I wanted to mention who, maybe doesn't get a ton of shine, however, is now the school's career leader in kickoff return yards, and has had back-to-back weeks where he's popped some big ones and almost took one to the house against Rocky Mountain, is able to start the second half off with taking one to the house against Arizona Christian. Caden Cobb out of Cuna High School. And so, talk about Caden and what kind of guy he is, but obviously what he's given you guys in the return game is significant.
Absolutely. Caden is one of the best people, we've ever had in the program that I've ever known. Married and has a child, went on an LDS mission from Cuna, so a little older. But the guys on the team just love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just one of those guys that everybody respects because he works so hard. He's a great student, and we needed something.
Yeah.
It was 21-10 at half. We drove the field and dropped a pass on the 1 yard line,
Yep.
which would have been a touchdown, which
Yep.
was disappointed for Travis Mariero, because he's been playing well as a true freshman. But then to come out like that, I think it showed we weren't going to be stagnant in the second half,
Yep.
which we weren't, and we put together really, really a good second half, which was pleasing. But Caden, he's just great on special teams. To be a good kickoff returner, there has to be a certain amount of fearlessness.
Absolutely.
In you. Some would say not too bright, but Caden is a bright guy. But it's just
You got to hit it.
You're just running full speed,
Yep.
But before things open up,
Yep.
and then at the last second it opens up. In this particular case, I thought we had great blocking.
Yep.
And one guy was slipping off, and he's just quick enough. So he's got some good quickness too. So we know that Caden can break them. So that's nice to have that weapon, and he's big on all the special teams. But I think the guys are just happy for him. They tease him, they love him, and again, it's just part of who we are. He's a big part of who we are as a program.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And yeah, it's awesome to see him, like I said, just get some shine and then finally, finish the job off with an actual touchdown, right?
Yeah.
So moving on a little bit on the defense here, like we talked about, their quarterback was able to make some plays on you guys. He's a heck of a player, dual threat, hard to corral. But I thought you guys did a pretty good job. And one guy I think is worth mentioning that I'm not sure we've mentioned on the show too much yet this season, but I think is just when you go back on film and you see him just consistently playing at such a high level as Willie Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
And so, wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about, his play this year. Thought he had a great, game individually against Arizona Christian, just giving you guys a lot on defense right now.
Yeah, Willie is great. Another great leader who's been in the program a long time, very well respected, and he just plays hard and loves to play, and he's physical, and he's the epitome of a guy that's a leader of a team defense. He's not going to make every tackle, he's not going to do everything, but great defensive coaches would say, just do your job. Mm-hmm. And so Willie's one of those guys. He's turned into a very good communicator. Again, he just gets everybody going. Certainly the linebackers and the front seven, gets those guys going. We need to be able to stop the run, and Willie Nelson is the key to that. So, so hopefully we can keep that going. He has been fantastic. He's had a great year. Had a little injury situation a couple weeks ago, but has made it back. And the significance of that is we just need him in practice too. Mm-hmm. He's as important in practice as he is in the games, mm-hmm. and so that's the way it has to be for our defense. Joey Calzaretta also, we need him practicing just because those guys are serious. They've been through the wars and know what it takes to be really good. Mm-hmm. So those two linebackers need to be great in practice, and then that gives us a chance in the game too. But Willie, phenomenal. Back to that Rocky Mountain interception that he almost took in for a touchdown. It's just really, really fun to watch, and he needs to be great, and he was last Saturday night in Arizona.
Yes, sir. And putting a bow on that, obviously I said great job by you guys to go down there and take care of business, but we move on in the Frontier Conference, another big conference game at Simplot Stadium, as they all are when you're fighting for a championship and for your playoff life. You got Montana State Northern coming to Simplot Stadium this Saturday. What are you seeing out of them early, and maybe what do they present you guys, and what do you think your team has to do to have success?
Well, I think they're still struggling, and they should have won 2 games. I mean, they should have beat Arizona Christian, as a matter of fact, which would have been a great win for them, and they lost in the last second. Yep. But did win early. I mean, they're clearly capable. I think philosophically they may be changing a little bit in terms of trying to recruit freshmen and guys who will be around and grow in the program. Yeah. but everybody is always dangerous.
Yep.
And so the key for us is to jump on them and get ahead of them and that sort of thing. But they have a nice little plan. They throw the ball around. They have a transfer quarterback who's also athletic and but wants to pass it before he runs, but is athletic enough to hurt you with his legs. They got a couple of good receivers, pretty darn good running back who
big
we like.
physical guy.
Yep. And then they have a little bit of quickness, and they struggle just to stay healthy on the lines. On defense, we're expecting everything.
Mm-hmm.
They've been invading the A gaps, which what I mean by that is they line up in with 5 guys across the board, and then they blitz with 2 guys right up the middle in the A gap.
So chaos.
Yeah, so they make you prove that you can handle those sorts of things. I think that's who we are, but it's always a challenge and always a lot of work throughout the week to get the guys ready and comfortable with that. There's a lot on the quarterback's plate when that happens. They're daring you to throw the ball.
And you got to know where to go with it quickly, right?
Got to know where to get rid of it, and and I think we talked years ago, and maybe it's worth talking about that now, that the quarterback position is so important, and once you get to a certain level as a quarterback, I'm not sure I ever got there, but the best of the best quarterbacks, they want teams to blitz.
Yep.
But with that, so we had a blitz pickup one time in practice this week, and it was the best session we've had in a long, long time because it's good for the quarterback, it's good for the line, it's good for the defense to hit the blitzes, make sure they're covering all the backs out of the backfield and stuff. But that to me is football at the graduate level, is because you need to have answers for the blitz, protection, and a place to go with the ball. The quarterback has to understand that, and anyway, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe. So blitz always comes first in our football economy here at College of Idaho, and that's defensively too. They have to blitz, and Coach Jewell loves to blitz, but he would be the first to tell you it's hard to get everybody covered with all these different formations that people throw out there. So we work a lot at that, at somehow trying to simplify so that we can play fast.
Yep.
But the same thing goes, so it's defense, it's that play fast with simplicity and the appearance of complexity. On offense, it's the same thing, to be able to find ways to do that. So this game is going to be no different. I think that Montana State Northern will blitz 10 out of the first 15 plays. And if we're on it right, then we'll have our chances to make some big plays.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Well, fans, as always, thanks for tuning in to Coach Moroski's edition here. And, Coach, we appreciate your time.
Thanks, Broch.
Thank you.
Go Yotes.
All right, fans, we're here with defensive tackle Sam Lowings out of Half Moon Bay Area kid, up here as a sophomore on the football team this year, getting a chance to make much more of an impact. And Sam, thanks for being on the show, buddy.
Yeah, of course.
First I want to ask you, this is probably the first time the fans have been able to hear from you, get to know you a little bit. Like I said, kid that came up here from the Bay Area. So, how's it been being a football player for the Yotes? How much fun you having on, this season, being able to contribute a little bit more?
So I think so far it's been a blast. My freshman year, just being able to learn from the older guys and get some good knowledge, and applying that to this year, I feel like I've stepped up a lot in my game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. And last week, against Arizona Christian, guys played great. Whole team played well. Defense had a very good day out there. Was able to get some consistent pressure on a mobile dual threat quarterback. So what do you think you guys were able to do well last week?
I feel like what you said, running. He's really fast. He can run the ball well, and I feel like we were able to hold him down to a short amount of yards, and just keeping that up. I think overall the D-line played pretty well, but we definitely have stuff to improve on for sure for this coming up week.
Absolutely, and moving on to this week, another conference matchup here at home at Simplot Stadium against Montana State Northern. What are you guys seeing on film early? What do you think you guys got to do well in order to have success this week?
Definitely just get pressure on fast. I feel like if we bring it fast to them early, we can really make this team crumble, and I feel like it's the key to our success this weekend.
Awesome.
And,
Well, fans, come out, watch Sam here ball out against Montana State University Northern. It's a big game to keep us rolling in the Frontier Conference. And Sam, thanks for your time, buddy.
Of course, anytime.
All right, fans, we're here with stud running back Hunter Gilbert out of Tigard, Oregon. You guys have seen this guy tear it up on the field the last few years, and a reoccurring guest on the show, so it's great to get him back on here. And Hunter, just jumping right into it, the offense has been humming pretty good, this season, and it had a great week last week against Arizona Christian. So what do you think you guys are doing so well right now, allowing you to have so much success?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're throwing the ball well as we have all season, and Andy as a quarterback is making plays constantly, finding people downfield, scrambling, running on third down. And so, I mean, I played defense and had to go through that struggle of getting to a 3rd and long, and then your quarterback scrambles and runs. And so that's really helped us out. I know the run game's been a little slow, but we're starting to pick it up, and we've been there when we need it. But definitely, Andy's playing amazing. Receivers are playing amazing. O-line, and our protection game is good. And so I had to just to keep putting up points and execute on 3rd down. It's good. We're rolling right now.
Absolutely, I love it. And last game it was big game for you obviously, and leading the team in rushing. However, towards the end of the game, some of those younger running backs who maybe don't get as much of an opportunity got a chance to get in there and make some plays, and a long touchdown catch, down the left sideline. And so for you as an older guy, I'm sure taking some guys under your wing, what was it like to be able to see there and see some of the younger guys be able to step up and have some success?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I sat under. I felt like it's been a while since I was waiting to be like a starter, and so I just know how it feels to just be watching film all the time, watching other guys play. And so for them to get in there and make some plays and just long touchdown runs, and it's good. We're constantly speak of each other as a group. We're not individuals.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's good. It's great to see the younger guys succeed.
Yeah. Absolutely, I love it. And moving right along, obviously, big game this week, as they all are in the Frontier Conference, to keep the playoff hopes alive and hopefully a conference championship. Got Montana State University Northern coming into Simplot Stadium this Saturday. And so, what have you seen early from them on film, and what do you think you guys got to do to keep having success?
Yeah, so they're going to bring the blitz, and they're going to play super aggressive. And so I think, we could still run the ball on them, but, we're going to be throwing the ball and just executing our base offense well. But, yeah, we have to pick up the blitzes that come and be ready for all of that. So we'll be ready to play.
Yeah, sir. And, well, fans, obviously, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of the Steel Show. We appreciate you guys every week. Hopefully everyone comes out to Simplot Stadium this Saturday, creates a great atmosphere, and help the Yotes get to a W. And Hunter, thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it.